Everyone had a wonderful time. The drivers danced all around. The firemen played games like bobbing for apples, pin the head on the skeleton, and telling ghost stories. During the party, Percy explained his idea to his fireman, and then asked him to put some candy in his firebox. The fireman did so, and immediately the candy melted in Percy's firebox. Percy was right. He did feel the sweetness of the candy.
That feels tingly. I can feel chocolate, fruit-flavored, and sour candies in my firebox all together.
Thomas and Toby were shocked. "We want some candy in our fireboxes too," demanded Thomas.
"Yes, indeed,"
agreed Toby.
"We want to be able to enjoy the candy too."
So the firemen shoveled the candy into Thomas and Toby's fireboxes, and the engines felt the sweetness right away. "You were right, Percy," said Thomas. "I can feel the sweetness of the candy."
"I'm sorry for laughing at you, Percy,"
apologized Toby.
"I guess engines can't enjoy some things that people enjoy."
Percy smiled and forgave Toby. Then the party continued on. Late that night, the party came to an end. The men went home, and the engines went to sleep. But early the next morning, the firelighter came and got a fire going in each engine. Percy woke up and saw the firelighter next to the door. Out of the corner of his eye, Percy also saw a bag of candy from the party. He wished some steam to get the man's attention.
"Excuse me, sir,"
whispered Percy.
"Can you put some of that candy into my firebox, please?"
The firelighter was stupidly persuaded to do so, and he shoveled the candy into Percy's firebox. But what they didn't know is that the firelighter put too much candy into Percy's firebox. Later that morning, Thomas and Toby woke up feeling refreshed and ready for a hard day's work. Percy, however, woke up to a large pain in his boiler. He moaned and groaned. "Are you all right, Percy?" asked Thomas worriedly.
"Did you eat too much candy last night, Percy?"
asked Toby, a little sternly. Percy hesitated.
"Certainly not. I just didn't sleep well after the party last night."
Thomas and Toby left to start their work. Percy's driver and fireman arrived and saw that Percy looked ill.
"Percy, are you all right?"
"You don't look well, Percy," agreed his fireman. The only response the men got from Percy was, "Fine." Percy's first job was to take some hay to the farms in the hills. The hay was used as seats for people who sat in cattle cars when they went to a pumpkin field to pick out pumpkins for jack-o'-lanterns. Now it was being used for food for the horses at the farms. As Percy backed up to the hay cars, the pain in his boiler grew stronger. He moaned and groaned again. "Are you sure you don't need a rest, Percy?" asked his driver. "There's nothing wrong with me. I feel fine," puffed Percy. As soon as Percy delivered the hay, he steamed away to his next job. Percy was to take some coal from Knapford to Elsbridge Station. When he arrived, Percy's face turned green and he began to shake and wobble. Henry was there collecting his passengers. Just then Edward puffed up too. They looked over and saw that Percy didn't look well.
"Percy, you feeling all right?"
asked Edward, concerned.
"You look like me before I got my special coal all those years ago."
Percy ignored the engines and continued on. Soon Percy came up to a tunnel. He puffed inside, but the pain in his boiler was now so strong, Percy felt as if he was going to burst. with a loud bloom. Percy came out of the tunnel. Percy felt better, but he was covered from buffer to buffer in a black goo that looked like tar.
Well, bust my boiler,
cried Percy.
What happened in there?
I'll tell you what happened, said his driver angrily. You ate too much candy, and you, in your own way, threw up.
Percy felt very ashamed. He continued on to Elsbridge. Percy struggled into the station. Gordon was there collecting his passengers. He looked over, saw Percy, and he gasped.
Well, freeze my firebox. What in the fuck controller's name happened to you? Do you know what the term washdown means? Don't you, little Percy?
Percy felt even more awful.
I'm sorry I looked so disgraceful to you and your passengers, Gordon.
Gordon gasped. He wasn't expecting Percy to say something like that.
Oh, that's quite all right, Percy.
Percy then explained to Gordon what happened and what his driver told him.
Well, I hope you've learned your lesson from this experience, Percy,
said Gordon. And with that, the conductor blew his whistle, and Gordon puffed respectfully away. Percy now knows what it means to set limits on things, and he enjoys Halloween just like an engine should.